And this is what your worksheet, the beginnings of it, looks like for today. Please attach your work if you can. So I'm going to switch my screen over now to our working space. So this is a dime. Actually, we'll go from smallest to biggest. So we're gonna start with our friend the penny right here. And our friend the penny is just 1 cent. And notice how we write the cent sign, a C with a little slash through it. And being so the penny is just 1 cent, we write 1 cent with 1 and then the cent sign. You're probably more used to seeing the dollar sign, which looks like an S with 2 lines through it. And we can also use that for writing cents, but because they're just writing the cents, they're just doing the C. So a penny is worth 1 cent. Notice that the penny is copper. It's the only one that's copper brown. You notice that in our chant too. And it has a house on the back that has columns on it, but no dome. It's very flat at the top right here. It's flat, whereas the nickel has a little dome at the top. Also, they're different colors, so that also helps. So the penny is a copper brown one. It also says 1 cent. I don't know if you can read it, but right on the bottom it says 1 cent. Right here on the nickel is worth 5 cents. It has a guy looking off to the left with a ponytail. We can see his ponytail. It has a dome at the top of the house on the back side, and it says 5 cents on the back side also. The next biggest coin is the dime, and the guy is looking the same way in the dime, but he doesn't have that ponytail. The dime is also the smallest coin that we have. So when you're holding them in your hands, and you can see in this picture too, the dime is smaller than the penny. It's smaller than the nickel even. Dime has some leaves on the back and a torch on the back, and it says 1 dime on the back. The quarter has a very fancy guy, so it's different than the nickel. The nickel, he's more like his hair is straight, but in the quarter, his hair is very curly, and his ponytail is kind of fancy. And he's looking off in the same direction as the nickel, the dime, and the $50. So they're all looking the same. The penny's the only one that's looking the other way. But it says $quarter on the front. So that should be a big help to you. And then we have the $50. Now, we don't really have the $50 as much. We don't use it as much, but it still is something that we would like you to know. The $50 has a guy that kind of looks like the dime on it. He has no ponytail. And the Liberty at the top is like very stretched out. This is Liberty. It's very stretched out. And then the date, the year is very stretched out too. So the quarter is worth 25 cents. The dime is worth 10 cents. The $50 is worth 50 cents. So 2 quarters, 25 plus 25 equals 50. 2 quarters equal a $50. And 100 cents, if you were to add up all the coins you have and you get 100, you would have $1. So that's where the dollar comes into play for those of you that are wondering, but we're not going to work with dollars today. So we know that the $50 is 50 cents. We know that the quarter is 25 cents. We know that the dime is 10 cents. We know that the nickel, this is a nickel, it's bigger than the dime. It's got that ponytail, but it's not fancy. 5 cents. Also, when you hold a nickel in your hand, it's very thick. And then the penny is worth 1 cent. So Micah has the coin shown below. How many cents does Micah have? Count on to find the total value. And notice how I'm not going to count the smaller ones first. I'm going to go with whatever is the biggest coin, and then I'm going to add on as the values get smaller. So I'm going to add the 50 first, and I'm going to add 25. 50 plus 25 equals 75. So I got these two. Plus another 10 equals 85. Plus 5 equals 90 cents. Then plus 1 cent equals 91 cents. So I added on. Notice I didn't do 5 plus 10 equals 15 plus 25 equals, I didn't do it out of order. I did whatever was the biggest and then I added on as we got smaller. So now I'm going to show you another example. Tim has these coins. How many cents does Tim have? Tim, you don't have too many coins, but we're going to count up what you do have. So I do know that I see in here a fancy dude. He's a fancy looking hair guy and he has a ponytail. And I know that is the oh, goodness gracious. I know that is the quarter. So the quarter looks like this. I know my first value is the quarter. So I'm going to write a 25 cents underneath of here. I know that the next coin is the smallest looking one, but it's not the smallest in value. I see the dime. The dime is worth 10 cents. Okay. Then I see a guy with a ponytail, but he's not fancy, and it's smaller than the quarter. So I know that that's a nickel worth 5 cents. And the last two values are both, the coins are both copper. I know that's 1 cent penny. Okay. Now I'm going to add it up. What is 25 plus 10? I'm going to keep track. It's 35 cents. Plus another 5 equals 40 cents. Plus 1 equals 41 cents. Plus another 1 equals 42 cents. The total is 42 cents. Okay? Last thing we're going to do today is we are going to buy a basketball. Woohoo! Buying a basketball. And what we're going to do is I have a bunch of coins here, the front and the back, and we're going to label the coins first, and then we are going to buy this basketball. And I'm going to show you that you don't have to buy the basketball using just one way. There are many ways to buy the basketball. There are many ways to buy many things in life. So we're going to go through that right now. And as long as it equals 89, it doesn't matter what combination we use, is what I'm trying to say. So, my friends, this one's huge. It says $50 in the back, so it's clearly the 50 cents $50. This coin right here, it looks like it's very thick. It has a guy with a non-fancy ponytail. It's smaller than the quarter. Oh, I know that it is a nickel. 5 cents. Then we have $quarter. Oh, it says it right on there, $quarter. And it has the eagle on the back. This is what the back of a quarter looks like. And sometimes you can get the quarters that are different states. So that's the one that has a different states on the back. You might have a collection. But it's a $quarter, 25 cents. Then we have the dime, 10 cents. I know it because I see the leaves and the torch, and it says dime, and it's the guy with no ponytail, but he's not huge, right? It's not a huge guy. It's tiny, tiny. And then we have the copper, 1 cent. So now I know what my coins are. I've identified what I have in my stash. Now I'm going to make enough money to buy the basketball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with bigger coins, and then I'm going to get smaller. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to first, I'm going to put the 50 cents right in there because get a little bit smaller. I'm going to put the 50 cents right in there because 50 is big, and now I just have to add on from 50. So if I were to add on from 50, what could I do next? Well, if I did 50 plus 25, that would be 75 cents. Okay, well, I'm still not at 80. If I were to add on another quarter, though, I would be at 100, which is too high because 75 plus 25 equals 100. So that's too high. So maybe I'll just go with the next highest coin, which is a dime. So I'll put in a tiny dime. 75 plus 10 equals 85. Okay, cool. If I were to add on a nickel now, 85 plus 5 equals 90. 85, 90, 95, 100. So that wouldn't work. So I'm just going to add on pennies. Let's do the back for fun. 1 penny, that will give me 86. 2 penny, 87. 3 penny, 88. And 89. So just to recap, I did a $50, 50, plus 25 equals 75, plus 10, so 75, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. Very good, my friends. So that is one way to make 89 cents. Now, there are so many different ways to make 89 cents, and you don't need to use the same coins as I did. For example, I know that 2 quarters is the same thing as a $50 because 25 plus 25 equals 50. So I can actually just do 2 quarters, 25, 50, 75. 3 quarters equals 75. And then let's say I don't want to use any dimes. Don't feel like it. Don't want to use any dimes. Well, let's use nickel. Why not? 75, 80, 85, and then maybe our 75, and then 80, 85. I need one more nickel today. Oh no, because that would get me to 90. See, I already made a mistake. 75, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. That's another way to make 89 cents. Let's say I don't want to use anything but pennies. I could just put 89 pennies in there, and that would give you 89 cents. I can count by tens to get to 80. I can do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then I can do 9 pennies, or I can do a nickel. That would be 85, and then I can do 86, 87, 88, 89. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. So if you want to just make 89 cents using none of the bigger ones, the quarters or the $50, you don't have to. You can choose to make these numbers however you want. And you can just use all nickels if you wanted to, 5, 10, 15, 20, and go all the way up to 80. So there are many different ways to make these purchase things. And it comes in handy when, let's say I don't have any nickels. What can I use instead? So I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope it helps you do your work today.